Good day everyone, we are the Group 9 and we are here today to showcase what we have learned in this course and presenting to you our group project that is titled Connecting the Dots, the Power of Mathematics. The highlight for our discussion will be all about 4 modules which are Math of Finance, Social Science, Coding Theory, and Game Theory. Welcome everyone. Today, we'll explore the world of investing and borrowing. As Warren Buffett wisely said, we should spend what's left after saving, not the other way around. Let's dive into various investment options and how they can benefit us. Today, we are faced with a common financial dilemma that many of us encounter. How to invest 100,000 pesos for 1 year with the goal of maximizing interest while minimizing risk. It's a challenge that requires careful consideration and understanding of the available options. First, we have the traditional savings account, a familiar and secure option. It offers an annual interest rate of 0.25%, providing a safe but modest return on our investment. Next, we have the time deposit account, a place for 120 days, which offers a slightly higher annual interest rate of 0.3%. This option locks in our funds for a shorter period, providing a bit more interest while still maintaining a low level of risk. Lastly, we have the option of investing in the stock, currently worth 250 pesos. While the option may offer higher returns, it also comes with increased risk and volatility. As we move forward, we'll explore this option in greater detail, weighing the potential rewards against the risk to help us make an informed decision that aligns with financial goals and risk tolerance. Investment is not just about money, it's about growing your capital and securing your future. There are various types of investments such as stocks, bonds, funds, and trusts that are shown in the screen. Savings and time deposits are fundamental investment options. While savings accounts offer liquidity, time deposits can earn higher interest rates. Choosing the right bank such as CIMB and understanding the terms can make a significant difference in growing your money. In this slide, we'll delve into the essential features of a savings account, a fundamental tool for personal finance that many of us utilize. First and foremost, a savings account earns interest. While the rates may vary between banks, this interest provides a modest yet steady growth for your money. Next, opening a savings account typically requires an initial deposit. This amount can differ based on the bank's policies and the type of account you choose. A critical aspect to be aware of is the maintaining equilibrium or balance. Most banks requires you to maintain a minimum balance in your account to avoid fees, ensuring that the account remain active in good standing. Taxes are also a consideration. Depending on the jurisdiction, interest earned in a savings account may be subject to withholding tax, which will be deducted before the interest is credited to your account. Lastly, it's essential to be aware of various fees associated with a savings account. These include charges for withdrawing funds more than the allowed number of times, fees for a lost passbook, and other service-related costs. Understanding these features is vital for anyone using or considering a savings account. It allows you to choose the right account for your needs and manage it effectively, maximizing the benefits while avoiding unnecessary costs. Stocks represent a piece of ownership in a company. Investing in stocks can be rewarding, but it comes with higher risk. The value of your shares can grow or fall, depending on the company's performance. Bonds are debt obligation and are considered safer investments. They offer fixed interest and can be a great option for cautious investors. For government to corporate bonds, understanding the types and how they work can help you make wise investment choices. First, let's look at the kind of instrument they represent. Stocks are essentially ownership shares in the company. When you buy stocks, you become a partial owner and your success is tied to the company's growth and performance. Bonds, on the other hand, are debt obligations. which you purchase. When you purchase a bond, you are lending money to the issuer, whether it's a government or a corporation. When you're entitled to periodic interest payments and the face value of the bond when it matures. Now, let's talk about the investor's role. In stocks, the investor takes on a role of partial ownership, sharing in the company's success or failure. In bonds, the investors acts as a lender, receiving fixed interest payments. Interest and return are also distinct. Stocks don't offer fixed interest. The returns depends on the company's success and their potential for higher gains. Bonds provide fixed interest payments, offering a more predictable and steady return. Finally, we must consider the risk. Stocks carry a higher risk as the value can fluctuate widely based on the company's performance. Bonds are generally considered lower risk, especially government bonds, making them a safer investment option. In summary, stocks and bonds offer different opportunities and challenges. Stocks provide the potential for higher return but come with increased risk, while bonds offer stability and regular interest payments but typically lower returns. Understanding these differences is crucial for making informed investment decisions that align with your financial goals and risk tolerance.
Now, I will be discussing the game theory, which is part of Module 5. Game theory is a mathematical way to understanding how individuals make decisions in complicated situations. We will discuss how and why we play games, starting with the classic example known as the prisoner's dilemma. This dilemma shows the complexity of decision making where choices are interdependent. Here, we will delve into the core components and definitions that form the foundation of game theory. First, players. These are the individuals or entities making decisions within the game. They can be people, company, nations, or any entity that makes choices. Second, strategies. This refers to the rules and hierarchy that define the best possible actions and responses within the game. It's the roadmap that players follow to achieve their goals. Consequences. Every action or move made by a player leads to a specific state or consequence within the game. Understanding these consequences is vital for strategic planning. Outcomes or results. These are expected payoffs or results that arise from the strategies and actions taken by the players. In game theory, it is assumed that all players are aware of these potential outcomes. Solutions. In the context of a game, a solution is the optimal decision that players can make. It considers the interests of all players, whether they are aligned, opposed, or mixed. Interdependence. One of the key aspects of game theory is the interdependence of decisions. Players must consider the potential decisions of others when planning their moves. Optimal decisions. By analyzing the costs and benefits to each participant, it helps in determining the strategies that maximizes the desired outcomes. So, together, these components and definitions give a comprehensive understanding of game theory, a powerful tool for analyzing situations where decisions are interdependent, whether in economics, politics, business, or everyday life. These concepts guide how we navigate complex scenarios. Game theory isn't just an abstract concept. It has real-world applications that touches various aspects of our lives. From bidding at auctions to negotiations, game theory covers valuable insights and strategies. Firstly, bidding at auctions. Game theory gives insights into how bidders can strategize to win an auction. Collective bargaining or negotiation. In labor negotiations or business deals, game theory helps parties understand the interests and potential moves of the other side. Decision related to new products. It helps in understanding whether there's a first mover advantage predicting competitors' possible moves, and deciding on defense strategies. Product pricing decisions. Retailers and businesses apply game theory to set pricing strategies. They compete against each other to gain market share, offering attractive discounts on specific goods to increase sales of complementary products. Stock market decisions. Investors and traders use game theory to make wise decisions in the stock market. It helps in making decisions of other players related to investments, and based on these decisions, individuals can decide upon strategies. In summary, game theory is a versatile and powerful tool that guides decision making in various real-life scenarios. Next slide. Simultaneous classification of types of games. Simultaneous versus sequential games. Simultaneous games are those where all players make their decisions at the same time. A classic example is rock, paper, scissors. Sequential games, on the other hand, involves players making decisions one after another, just like poker or chess. Perfect versus imperfect information games. In perfect information games, every player is fully aware of all the actions that have previously occurred. Games like chess, Monopoly, and tic-tac-toe fall into this category. Imperfect information games are more complicated, as some information is hidden from the players. Examples include poker. You don't know your opponent's hands, or the prisoner's dilemma, where the decision of the other player is unknown. Complete versus incomplete information games. This classification focuses on the knowledge of the game's structure. In complete information games, all players know the possible moves and payoffs, but they may not see all the moves made by others. An example is the stock market, where traders may know the structure, but not all the moves of other traders. Incomplete information games, on the other hand, involves scenarios where some players may have private information, leading to more complex and nuanced strategies. In game theory, the way we represent games is crucial to understanding the dynamics and outcomes. Let's delve into the two primary forms of representation. Normal form. Think of this as a matrix or table. Each player's strategies are listed, and the intersections of these strategies reveal the payoffs. It's a snapshot of all possible outcomes based on the combination of strategies chosen by the players. A classic example is the prisoner's dilemma, where the decisions to confess or remain silent by two prisoners lead to varied jail terms. Another intriguing example is the advertising game, where two companies must decide whether the cost of advertising is worth the potential revenue from capturing market share. Extensive form. This is a more visual representation, often resembling a tree diagram. It captures the sequence of moves and decisions in a game, illustrating the flow of actions and their consequences. It's particularly useful for games with sequential decisions. An example to consider is the Anna and Belle game, where the two individuals must decide on which day to schedule an event, with different payoffs based on their choices. These forms give a formal way to analyze and understand games, helping us know outcomes and devise optimal strategies. Whether it's deciding to confess in a police interrogation, investing, game theory offers insights into the best courses of action.
We will go into social choices, which is in Module 6. Welcome to our exploration of social choice theory, a fascinating field that delves into how societies make decisions. We'll be examining the best ways to arrive at good decisions, what makes the decision process fair, and how mathematics can be applied to enhance our decision making. The theory has a rich history dating back to the 18th century with significant contributions from figures like Marquis de Cortázar, who provide the first rigorous mathematical treatment of voting. He worked with renowned scholars like Euler and Franklin, making significant contributions to both philosophy and mathematics. Social choice theory has a rich history dating back to the 18th century. A key figure in this field is Marquis de Cortázar, who provided the first rigorous mathematical treatment of voting. He worked with renowned scholars like Euler and Franklin and made significant contributions to both philosophy and mathematics. Social choice theory is a fascinating field that examines how the diverse and sometimes conflicting choices of a group can be unified into a single decision that represents the group's collective preferences. Voting is the primary mechanism by which democratic societies make decisions. It's a process that allows individuals to express their preferences and contribute to the collective choice. Preference ballot is a tool that enables voters to rank candidates from their most to least preferred without any ties. It's a way to capture the nonsense of voters' preferences. Preference table compiles these individual rankings into a comprehensive view, showing how many times each possible ballot was submitted. It's a snapshot of groups' overall preferences. Voting method refers to the mathematical procedures used to determine a winner based on the preference table. It's an algorithm that translates individual preferences into a collective decision. Straw poll is an informal or unofficial vote used to gauge public opinion. It's a tool that politicians and others might use to understand the majority opinion on a particular issue. Fairness criterion is a set of mathematical principles that define what makes the voting system fair. Some examples include majority criterion, the idea that if a candidate receives more than half of the first place votes, they should win. Courtesan criterion, this states that the candidate who beats all others in head-to-head contest should win, independence of irrelevant alternatives. This ensures that the winner remains the same even if non-winning candidates are removed. Pareto criterion, named after the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. This criterion ensures that if every voter prefers one candidate over another, the latter cannot win. Monotonicity criterion, this ensures that the winning candidate cannot lose if they receive additional support without losing any original support. Majority rules is a straightforward method where the candidate with more than 50% of first place votes win. However, it can be problematic if there are more than two candidates and no majority is reached. Plurality method is the most simple and widely used, where the candidate with the most first place voters wins. It's important to note that distinction between plurality and majority, as not every plurality is a majority. Courtesan method is a more complex approach where a candidate must defeat every other candidate in one-on-one contest. This method can sometimes fail to determine a winner. Approval voting allows voters to choose all candidates they find acceptable, with the winner receiving the largest number of votes. This method is used in various international and professional elections. We also explore significant theorems like May's theorem, which sets specific criteria for majority rules, and Gabor-Satterthwaite's theorem, which states that no voting method is completely immune to strategic voting. Finally, we discuss the vulnerabilities and paradox in voting methods, such as failure of the plurality method to meet certain criteria and its vulnerability to strategic voting. These insights into voting methods reveal the complexity and challenge of creating a fair and robust voting system. They highlight the need for careful consideration of the method used. depending on the specific context and requirements of the election.
Welcome to the fascinating world of coding theory. Next slide, please. In our digital age, transmitting data accurately and efficiently is paramount. Coding theory helps us understand how to detect and correct errors in data transmission. It's not just about sending information, it's about ensuring that the information arrives intact. This field employs both traditional and modern algebraic techniques, making it a rich and vital area of study. Imagine sending a message and it arrives altered or incomplete. This is a real challenge in data transmission. Various factors like electric surges, cross-contamination, or even human error can lead to these imperfections. The noise in communication systems can distort the messages, making the task of transmitting data accurately a complex problem to solve. Coding theory is not just a theoretical concept. It has practical applications that touch our daily lives, from transmitting pictures from distant space to ensuring the quality of sound in our favorite gadgets. Coding theory plays a vital role. Its main task is to enhance the reliability of digital communication, enabling us to detect errors and, if possible, recover the original message. Let's delve into some specific methods used in coding theory. Parity check codes are a simple yet effective way to detect errors by looking at the parity of the number of ones in a bit string. Repetition, on the other hand, is a method of correcting errors by repeating each beat in a certain number of times. Through majority decoding, we can recover the original message even if some parts are garbled. These techniques form the building blocks of more complex error-correcting codes. In our final slide, we explore the concepts of hamming distance and nearest neighbor code. Hamming distance gives us a way to measure how different two strings are, which is crucial in understanding errors in transmission. Neighbor code uses this concept to correct errors by finding the closest match to its received data. Understanding the minimum distance between code words helps us detect and correct errors, ensuring that our digital communication is as accurate and efficient as possible.
And that's it for our group project proposal, where we showcase the things that we learned in the Mathematics in the Modern World course. Thank you for listening.